Morning, friends. Welcome. Let's get this set up properly so you can see me. Welcome to Your Human Pet Ramble. My name is Cam. I am your human for all pet services. Today we're discussing a little bit about sniff walks and my experience with rescue dog Jerry, the old timer that is now my pack leader. Came to us with some troubles and has overcome most of his reactivity and troubles to now be the pack leader. Very confident old man, and makes for a great talking point. So, as always, I only talk to the dogs before coffee, so if you're not a dog, you could tune out now. Pardon me. My sixth sense of humor. Let's pull up my screen here again, where I had used a little bit of Bing to summarize some concepts from various links. So, what is a sniff walk? Sniff walks are walks where dogs are allowed to explore their environment through their nose. They can benefit dogs by providing mental stimulation, relaxation, confidence, and enrichment. Sniff walks can also help dogs cope with stress, anxiety, boredom, and frustration. However, sniff walks should be done safely and responsibly with a comfortable harness, a long leash, and high-value treats. Sniff walks should also be tailored to your individual dog's needs and preferences. That last sentence is something I often see most people overlook, stating that you need to refine what it is you're doing based on your dog's specific needs. It's not just follow the instructions, not with anything, even training your dog to sit. Generally, you have to adjust what you're doing for your dog. So that goes for sniff walks as well. Thinking about Jerry, if me and Jerry were going out in the morning, when we first got him, often it would seem as if he was going out with a mission, heading out, planning to go find something. So it made the sniff walk almost impossible not to be a pulling session, which when you're trying to go out and do a sniff walk, you want it to be calm and you want it to be relaxed. So if your dog's already amped up when you're heading out the door, oftentimes you're going to be presented with misbehavior throughout your sniff walk. So there's some things that we started doing beforehand, adding structure before we even got out the door, which then allowed us to slowly transition from that sniff walk with Jerry into a structured walk, and eventually from there transition into like appropriate walks with other dogs, off leash walks, and meet and greets, and so on and so forth. Now, there's a couple things that with the sniff walk, you're wanting to remember to give them time to enjoy their environment but not lose themselves. So, as example, one dog I walk regularly, Kai, he ends up kind of getting overstimulated by the smelling of things. So during the sniff walk, you often have to remind him to leave it and to carry on through the walk and not to get lost in a smell to the point where he starts to drool. If you notice your dog drooling throughout the walk, that's a good sign that they're actually overstimulated. It might be from anxiety, worry about the fears in the environment, or it could be that they're actually losing themselves in the smelling, causing overstimulation, which overstimulation can very easily transition into misbehavior. They're already at that arousal state, and when they're at the arousal state, it's a matter of fight or flight, basically, is kind of the easiest way to explain it. Either they're going to react or in a negative way, or they're going to be excited. They're already up there. They're primed for it. It's their next action. So there's many a times taken Jerry out that we would find we had to turn around and head back to the house, trying to keep him from getting overexcited or overstimulated. So here's bringing up the first link that Bing grabbed for us. Sniffari, nosing out joy for your dog. So just as evidence, this isn't something that just I talk about. I noticed Shirley Huffman speak of it quite often, the importance of a sniff walk. But I'm big on moving into the transition into structure as well. So it's not just about the sniff walk, but moving into getting that obedience and that engagement, turning your leash from a restraint into the communication tool that it's meant to be. A sniffari is noting where your dog gets to gloriously sniff their surroundings, explore the world, and lead you where he or she wants to go, right? So you just take your dog out, go wherever they want to go. Very straightforward. Obviously, they're trying to put their own spin on it by calling it a sniffari. A little bit of branding, I guess. So, in other words, it's intentionally giving your dog time to stop and smell the roses or the tree trunks or just the fresh air. But now remember, be aware of your dog and its body language, whether or not the sniff is actually causing any sort of over-arousal or overstimulation, or if it is actually hunting behavior, because essentially allowing your dog to get over-aroused or start tracking something with hunting behavior is asking for misbehavior to happen. So it's sniffing with the intention of smelling other dogs, maybe to mark the same spots, get familiar with them, and explore what's in their surroundings, but hopefully lead them away from trying to do a game of chase and find it. Again, another very quick means of going to misbehavior, especially outdoors. Remember, keep them on a leash. All right, so it's a decent little article. Three ways sniff walks may be harming your dog. So let's look at something else. Here's the opposing viewpoint. There's a new trend in the dog world called sniff walks, and they may be harming your dog's health. You may have heard the phrase, it's your dog's walk. Or maybe like me, you felt the criticism of people who think that not letting your dog stop every 5 feet to sniff something is mean and cruel. From what I can tell, these owners often think they are being better pet owners by always letting their dog sniff everything on walks at a leisurely pace. But I think that only going on sniff walks is what is doing your dog a disservice and potentially harming them. Oh, damn. Who is this? Okay, Jessica, I completely agree with that. What is a sniff walk? For those of you who have not encountered this term yet, it's not really a new thing, it's just a new name for it. A sniff walk is where you take your dog out for a walk and allow them to stop and sniff around as much as they want. The concept is that dogs need to use their nose to explore their surroundings through scent, and allow them to sniff around a lot has benefits. Scientists say letting your dog sniff builds new neurons in the brain. This increases cognitive function. Sniff walks are also one way to provide mental stimulation, sometimes referred to as mental exercise. I'm 100% behind the idea of providing your dog mental exercise and helping to develop their brain, but there is a problem with sniff walks. What is wrong with sniff walks? There is nothing inherently wrong with sniff walks. In fact, They are awesome for your dog. However, you should not make every walk your dog goes on a sniff walk. Thank you. Very well stated. Oh, I hear dachshund owners frequently state that their dog slows all of the time because they are stopping to sniff every 5 feet. Some dog owners specifically seek out sniffing trails or other areas that are designed to provide dogs with a wide variety of scents to explore. She posted a video how she got her dachshunds to stop sniffing and move along so we can cover some distance on our walk and get our heart pumping. People exclaimed, "But they need to sniff. It's good for them." While sniffing on walks is good for a dog, physical and mental exercise are not mutually exclusive. And if all you do is a sniff walk, you are likely harming your dog's health. You are giving them a great service. So I'm only going to rebut one little aspect, and that's the fact that I find sniff walks to be nearly as effective for burning energy as going for a hike. If done appropriately, where you're providing some structure, as she says, to carry on, cover some distance, and then essentially giving a command. I like break. I often use the heel break, so get them into a nice, quick, fast-paced walk, often almost a jog. Click in, heel, boom, let's go, guys. All right, break. Now you guys get your sniff. Okay, what direction are we going? Okay, you guys pick a direction. All right, heel, click in. We get some movement, get our blood pumping. All right, break, and then you let them have their sniff. That's essentially how I practice a sniff walk. So it's constant transition from a heel into freedom. It's we run, then you sniff. We run, then you sniff. And that allows the dogs to also start getting the concept of being given opportunities to smell around, that they can choose their direction, and oftentimes they are even choosing when we're stopping, but it's not stopping once, a block. It's trying to cover an entire block and will stop on the next block. So they see that crossing a road is their opportunity to, like, okay, well, once we cross the road, I can sniff out something I want. And that's generally what I work towards on like a normal walk. And that's an everyday walk. It's a combination of structure and sniffs. But when you're starting out, it could be, with Jerry, I remember times where we would spend 5-10 minutes at a corner where he wanted to go one direction. And I was like, we got to go home. And I'm not about to start dragging him. And, all I could do is stand there with a bit of pressure on the leash and keep taking a step ever so slowly as he releases the pressure, the direction I need to go, and keep trying to call him my way. But no, there was a sniff the direction he wanted to go. Right. So you are going to end up with battles once you give them that freedom, but it is your basis for building communication too, right? So because I have it so that I'm essentially, you can pull and sort of show me when and where you want to go and what you want to sniff, but it is at my discretion that you're given that opportunity. So we're having this communication. And then from there, it is the obedience that, like, okay, well, if you're being good and you're not pulling me and stopping every 5 feet and all of that, when we do have a spot that we're going to and you want to stop and I'm going to give everybody freedom and we can have a nice break. We're going to get some treats. You're going to get some pets, some affection. I'll tell you you're good. And then we're going to click back in and carry on. And they recognize those moments of freedom, the relax, the calm, the affection, the attention, and the reward to then click back into the structure. Very much about like a confident leader kind of pack mentality. And it for Jerry allowed him to transition from the scared dog that walking past every person was reactive and wanted to bite them and nervous. And if you were carrying a stick, it was, you were an enemy to the dog that would go off and sniff something when that person would pass. That was the first big transition. We could easily distract him with a sniff, because the sniff is as rewarding to a dog as the destination on a drive, right? They're taking in that smell. It's making the brain chemistry happen, and everything's starting to fire up as they're sitting there doing their thing, smelling away, their brain's going. And you can see it in the one picture I took of Frankie on the thumbnail of this live stream. The eye open caught him while he was sniffing, and he was lost in his sniff, and I was calling his name, and he wasn't hearing me. He was just completely lost. You could tell when Frankie hears you and when he doesn't. He's ignoring you intentionally, or if he's actually kind of like tuned right out. He was completely tuned out. And I snuck the camera down beside him and caught his attention. And just as he looked at the camera, snapped the picture. And yeah, that really does kind of show how they completely get lost in it. Anyways, before we go, I should pump our little group event we got happening here. Let's do this one. There we go. No, that one. There we go. The Esquimalt Pack Walk. Every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. A group of like-minded individuals, troubled dog, reactive dog, timid. We get together, work on our handling. It's a group of like-minded people, no judgment. Do a walk and work on any misbehaviors that pop up during the event. So you can scan the QR code on screen now, or you could head to yourhuman.ca and search Pack Walk, or click the link 3 or 4 down talking about our next upcoming event. Easy to find on my webpage. Please RSVP so we know to watch for you and not head off from the jumping point without you. And there's a group there on my webpage. Would love to have you. Now, last thing before I go for today, I'm really pushing for reviews, guy. My developers tell me that I need some more reviews. They said Facebook needs to get recognized. For their plugin to be appropriate, I need to be officially recognized by Facebook with reviews and a rating. So, Facebook reviews, guys. All of my clients out there, anybody that's come to the event, if you've happened to bump into me on the streets and you appreciated what I had to say, please leave me a review. I'd love a 5-star. 4 stars acceptable. 3, come on. You know, I do this event for free, so I'd love a 5-star review, guys. Help me get recognized by Facebook so my plugins can pull it all onto my webpage and make my developers a little bit happier with me. And from there, hopefully get a little bit more recognition for things, because supposedly that has a lot to do with your rating on the algorithms too. Yeah. QR code on screen. At Your Human Pet Services is my business page. Just click on the review link, and I'll probably try post something in the comments. Other than that, guys, I'm going to check the chat, see if anybody messaged in. Doesn't seem to be working as of yet. I'm not 100% sure, but that will come as we learn, Much love, guys. Had 2 viewers today, still 1 watching. Thank you very much. A viewer on Twitch, love ya. Just doing my thing over here. If you have any suggestions, questions, just hit me up. Best places, either on YouTube or Facebook. But if you happen to catch me on Twitch or Kick, I'll try look at the comments and engagement, get back to you, and recognize any of your questions or whatnot in the next video. Live stream. Yeah. Last note, I'm live streaming because I don't want to do the editing. Yeah, if I do editing, I don't end up posting, so this way I just get it up and done with. Over 20 minutes, 30 minutes, lickety split, off I go. Gonna start my day today. It's actually a light day. Hey, I could show you that. Light day before I go. I'm actually quite pleased with my app here. Walkies. After a crazy week of sittings, 2 weeks ago, last week I had a decently light day, and then today, yesterday was just a Frankie and Peaches with my Jerry, 1 walk. Today we're doing Frankie, Peaches, and Kai with my Jerry, 1 walk. Rather nice. And then it starts picking up tomorrow with 2. Right? Availability going forward. Still have a couple slots for Monday's morning walk. The afternoon hasn't even started booking yet. I'm just starting to book into the afternoon on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but no, that's Wednesday and Thursday. But the Tuesday and Friday is also free in the afternoon walk. So, before everything gets filled up, guys, and all my clients come back, if you're wanting to get added into the clientele, I do so now, which when everybody comes back from their summer holidays, we'll be possibly looking at picking up an extra walker to pull along my pack members, and yeah, that'll be interesting, guys. Who wants to be my extra dog walker? And the 12th, that's my birthday. Happy birthday, you're human. Anyways, that's that. Much love, guys. As you could tell, my screen lights me up pretty good. Finish with a red face. Till next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, share, tell your friends about our event. Word of mouth is very important. I ain't paying for none of these ads and supporting the digital rip-off companies. Peace.